So hello everyone, welcome to Triaright. This is Pack 365. Myself Sujit. So in this session, we are going to learn the text file access specifier or mode. Okay. In the previous session, we are already know what is file, what is the different type of file that's available, then what is file handling. So now we are trying to discuss the access mode that's available in case of our text file. Okay. So after completion of our text file, then only we need to write our binary file. Okay. So the first access specifier will be read access specifier. Okay, so first we are trying to see through an example, then you can get a clear picture on that. Okay, so make sure that whenever you are trying to use any file handling, you need to create a folder. Inside the folder only you need to open that. Okay, if you are try to use the file path, then it's okay. If you try to fetch any other file for other folder, it's okay. But if you try to directly give the file name, make sure that that text file or any file doc file, it needs to present inside the folder only. Okay, so now we are try to create inside the folder only. Okay, so guys, just see, I have a Python file as well as the text file. So now my requirement will be, I want to use my read access specifier, means I just want to perform some reading operation, because file handling says that you need to open your file and performing some operation and close it. Okay, so here if my requirement will be, I want to read the data only. Okay, so at that time I need to use my read access mode. Okay, so how to open that, now we're trying to see now. Okay, so guys, whenever we are trying to discuss about our file handling, first we need to open that by the help of our open method. So first, if you are trying to performing any access mode, you need to first open that file. So how to open? Write the open function. Here this open function or method will take one mandatory argument, that is called your file name. So here my file name will be with the extension you need to provide, that is called sample.txt. Okay, after provide, here it will be taking one more extra positional parameter, that is called your which type of access specifier do you want to use. So here I need to use my read access mode. So here I need to provide lowercase r. Okay, after that this open method will return a object. Okay, so now I need to store that object in a variable. After that, now if I'm trying to run this one, it will be not giving any output because I'm not printing anything. Okay, so now after this, I need to check that the file which I'm opening through our read access mode, it will be valid or not. So to check that, we have two methods. One method called our readable method and another method called our writable. So by both the things, you need to check the file will be readable or writable. So now first we need to check both the things. So how to check? Every time you just need to use your object reference. So how to use? So here my object reference will be f object dot. Here it will be showing all the method that's available. Okay, so here if you see, I need to check it is readable or not. I just see here, after writing you need to give your parenthesis. If you are not providing, it will be showing the address of your file path. Okay, now if you see here, if I'm trying to check the file object dot readable, it will be returning true. Now if I'm not passing the parenthesis, it will be give me the address where this object will be created. So guys, just see, built-in method readable of IO text wrapper object, I'll create this place. Okay, but I want to check in the form of our boolean value. Okay, so here it will be give me true as my output. Now my next one will be, I want to check if I'm trying to open a file by the help of our read access mode, we can read. But what about our write? So to check that, here also you need to use your object reference. Then here you need to write your writable. Okay, so now if I'm trying to run this one, so here it will be give me the output as false, means we are not write anything if I try to open in the help of our read access mode. Okay, so every time make sure that after you perform anything you need to close that. Okay, so how to close that? By the help of our file object name. Okay, so here you need to write file object dot closed. Okay, so now if I try to performing, so guys just see, now we are done with our file handling, means you are just try to open the file, then performing some operation, then after that we need to close. Okay, so this is all about our read access mode. Okay, so guys just see, here I am just try to write the file name directly. Okay, if I try to use in another folder, then at that time you need to give your file path. Okay, so now we are just try to understand whatever the method that available in our read access mode. Okay, as of now we are just try to open that, then this read access mode will provide three access mode. Okay, for this read access mode, so these are the read line and read lines. Okay, each and everything we are first try to understand, then we need to write all the theoretical point that's available. Okay guys, so the first one called our read access mode. Okay, so in the read I need to write the read access mode. So guys, what is the use of our read access mode? Okay, so this method is used to print all the entire content or data that available in the file. Okay. Also, this read method does not take any mandatory argument. But if you want to give one argument, you need to give in the positive. Means I just want to tell you. Now, if my requirement will be, I want to read all the data. So here I am just try to check it. Here it will be readable or writable. Now my requirement will be, I want to read all the data by the help of our inbuilt access mode that available in case of our read mode. Okay, so here I am just try to write, so the file object name dot, here you need to write your read. Okay, now guys, if I'm try to run this one, so guys just see, it will print all the data that's available with the help of this space also. If you are providing the space also, it will take. If I try to remove the space also, it will be take, because in our case of our Python, the space only treated as a character also. Okay, so guys, if I'm try to provide any argument, it's okay. If I'm not providing also, it's okay. Now if I'm try to providing the input as my 10, okay, so at that time what is the output, guys? Just see, now if I'm try to run this one, here it only print the up to the character which I'm provide. So here I need to print up to 10, means up to 9 it will provide. So here just see 5, then the space and the 4 character, because the space will be also treated like. So this is all about our read method that's available in our read access mode. Okay, so guys just see, after this, if my requirement will be, I want to know the position of the file pointer or the cursor. Okay, so here till now I don't know where the cursor will be pointing. So now if you want to find the position of a file pointer, then you are try to use a method that is called our tail method. So the tail method will be specified after performing the operation where the file pointer or the cursor will be presented. Okay, so now to check that, you need to use your tail. So after performing the operation, I just want to check. So file object dot tail method. Okay, so now if I'm try to run this one, so guys just see the output, you can get a clear picture on that. So here it will be tell me the 10 is my output, because I am just try to read only 10 character. If I'm not providing anything, it will be displaying in the end of my data. So guys just see, after I need to kill the terminal. I just want to run this one. So guys, just see at the end of the means after the 46th line, my file pointer will be reflecting. Okay. So whenever we open a file by the help of our read access mode, the file pointer will present at the starting of the file. Okay. So to check that before you are performing any operation, if I try to check at that time, here it will be displaying me the 0 as my file pointer, means the pointer will be reflecting in the starting of this one. Okay, so this is all about our tail method that's helpful in case of our read access mode. Okay, so the next one called the next method will be read line. Okay, so read line also used to read the data that's available in this text file. Then what is the difference between our read and read line? Okay, so this method is used to read only one line from a file, means it will be depending upon our file pointer. Okay, so I just want to comment this one. I just want to, now my requirement will be I want to use my read line. So by help of our read, we can read all the data that's available, but in case of our read line, it's only print one line. Okay, so how to check? So here I need to write the file object name dot read line. Okay, so after writing the read line, if I try to run this one, so guys, just see here it will be displaying first my file pointer will be starting of the file. After performing a operation, I want to read only one line. So at that time, here it will be presenting me that hello world. Okay, after that, if I'm trying to find the pointer, so here it will be reflecting the 13 line, means after printing hello world, it will be reflecting here because we are trying to use the read line because it will be reading only one line. Okay, so now if I'm trying to change here, because read line will be not taking any mandatory argument, if I try to provide also, it's okay. Now if I'm trying to provide, okay, so in the read line I need to provide, it will be starting from my 14 character. So now if I'm trying to run this one, still it will be give me hello world. Okay, now I've just tried to kill the terminal and I want to starting from my 20. Okay, guys, just see the output, you can get a clear picture on that. Okay, if I try to provide the input also, it's okay. So guys, just see, still we know that the first line will be containing 13 character, but here I am providing the 20 character, but here it only capable to read only one line. It will be not possible to print your second line. So the entire space also treated like a character for our read line. Okay, that's why if I'm trying to providing the mandatory argument also, still it will be not providing that. Okay, so this is all about our read line. Okay, now the next method or the last method that's available in case of our read access mode, that is called read lines. Okay, this is called our read line, and the last one called our read lines. Okay, so what is the use of this one? So this method is used to print all the data from a file in the form of the list. So guys, previously if I'm trying to read all the data, it will be printing in the form of our string. Okay, now if I'm trying to use my read lines, it will be also printing all the data but in the form of our list. Okay, so read lines method will not taking any mandatory argument. If we give the argument, this method will print line till the pointer. Okay, so guys, just see, first we are trying to print that. Okay, then only you need to provide some extra positional parameter. So here I'm just trying to write file object dot read lines. Okay, now if I'm trying to run this one, so guys, just see the output, and first it will be give me the 0 as my output. After that it will be print all the things. Also guys, just see here it will be reflecting me slash n, because after your one line you will be give a space. Okay, if are not giving, means the next line, to represent the next line in our string, it will be represent slash n. Okay, after this if I'm trying to providing a space, guys, just see, now again if I'm trying to run this one, so guys, just see here, guys, just see, here it will be taking the space also. Okay, so after that my file pointer will be reflecting me to the 52 line. Now if I'm trying to provide in some extra functionality, okay, now here I need to provide 20 as my file pointer cursor name. So here, okay, so here I just need to providing the read lines equal to 2. Okay, because if I'm not providing also it's okay. If I try to providing, so telling the position disabled to next line, because here you are trying to providing that you need to go to second line, but here it will be give me that you need to use in your single line only. Okay, so read line will be not taking any argument. Okay, so this is all about our read access mode that's available in our Python whenever you are trying to write our read access mode. Okay, so now we are trying to write all the theoretical points that's available in our read access mode. Okay, so yeah, so the first point says that it is represent, okay, it is represent as lowercase r. Okay, it will represent as lowercase r in our open function. Okay, now the second point, if any access specifier, okay, in any access mode also you can say is not given, okay, is not given, then the default one will be, okay, so the default access mode is read access mode only. If I try to check it also, you need to come here and I'm just try to delete that. Okay, so guys, just still it will be give me the same output because the by default access mode will be read access mode. Okay, now the next point will be we can just access the data for reading purposes only if I try to use your read access mode. Okay, so the third point, we can just access the data from a file, okay, only for reading, only for reading. Okay, so now the next point says that to use read access mode, file must be present in the folder or the path. Okay, so to use the read access mode, file must be present in the folder or or the path, folder or in the path. Okay, now we can use three methods while we accessing the file with the help of our read access mode. We can use three access mode file. We use read access mode. Okay, so the three methods are, first one called our read access mode. Okay, so what is called our read access mode? So this method, okay, so here I need to write, this method is used to print all the data all the data from a file. Okay, so the read method, okay, so the read method does not take any mandatory argument, but if we give, we need to provide the positive number only, the positive number only. Okay, now the next method called our read line. Okay, so the next method called our read line. So what is the use case of our read line? So this method, okay, so this method is used to read only one line from a file, means only first line it need to read. Okay, now the next method, so the line depends upon lines depends upon the file pointer. Okay. Now the third one will be read lines. Okay. What is the use case of our read lines will be? So this method is used to, okay, this method is used to print all the data, from a file, from a file, from a, from, so this method is used to print all the data, from a file, in the form of, list. It will means this method will not taking any argument. It will not taking any argument, okay. If you give the argument, this method will print line till the pointer. Okay. If I try to provide also, we need to write, okay. If we give arguments, okay, if we give argument, this method argument, if you give argument, this method will print line till the file pointer. Okay. So this is all about our read access mode that's available. Now the next one called our tail method, because if you see in the practice, we are trying to write the tail method. Okay. So what is the use of this tail method? I just try to give the theoretical point. Okay. So what is the use case of our tail method? Okay. So this method is used to, give the position of the file pointer, or we can say that the cursor. Okay. So the cursor. Okay. So when we open a file, by using the read, okay, read access mode, the file pointer point to the starting of the file. Okay. So this is all about our read access mode. So that's all for this session. In the upcoming session, we are trying to dealing with our write access mode. That's all it. Thanks for watching Triaright.